And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now, all right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going in. Not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. They go play action with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys.
Coming up, we'll see the debut of Carson Wentz and Indy in a battle of playoff teams from a year ago. It's the Seahawks and the Colts, and it's week 1 of the NFL. Next on EA Sports.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts getting ready to take over for the first time. And you're going to look at their 6-year quarterback in his first season wearing the horseshoe. It's Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
A run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again this Seattle Seahawks offense.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. The beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, Seattle.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Wilson.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis.
And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
He lost the football, put it on the carpet, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And that one coming on his opening carry of the season. Do you give him a mulligan?
You would like to, but this game counts. If this were preseason, he'd get a mulligan. But this is for real, so not expecting that at all. Got to find a way to take care of it. I'm sure he'll get other opportunities.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected because, to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They got some guys who might need a year or 2 on the practice squad, so then we'll find out if they can actually play.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing just outside his own goal line. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Taylor.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
We're scoreless after 1. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7. To throw is Wilson.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle it for just a short gain.
On 3rd down, it's Taylor, and he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling, because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
The big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
A nice run there by Gurley on first down as he'll get about 7 out of it.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Dan, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson, a 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true, because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Contain him to just 4. Second down. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense.
So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
We play to win. Let's go.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early to have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Flush to his right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
2nd down and 7.
Play action. It's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
Buying time to his left. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Flushed out right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf as time expires in the first half. And the Seahawks will extend their lead on the final play of the half. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready.
All right, we will save the week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Bucs ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter, and they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. It's caught. Lockett. And he goes out right around the 39. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 41 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, 3rd most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
They go play action now. Wilson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. He's to the 10, and he'll be out of bounds. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside the 5-yard line.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Taylor will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
I told you.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Can't stop us.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Is the defense
under pressure? They got him again.
This is it. So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Back now in Indianapolis. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And this a quick slant to Lockett. And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Taylor again. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
This is a long drive. Offensively, wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And they're going to go for this save. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Try to punch it in with Taylor. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Jonathan Taylor, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Now Wentz. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too.
Second and 6.
Play action. Now Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you use the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Looking deep for Hilton. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
56, the mic, boys, 56. Check, 56.
To throw is Wentz. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were. And so possession will remain with Indy. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. This goes out right to Doyle. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there, maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Wilson wants to throw it. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Catch is made by Metcalf. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
Continuing to keep their foot on the gas. It looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long when they throw the football. They're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis.
Do that again, Brandon. Do it again.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And this is incomplete. It looked like he had a pretty good line on that. Well, that would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He's got Doyle. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. Wentz to throw again. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Wentz going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.